Sister to Sister Can We Talk show. This is your girl Raw Silk, and I am so happy that you didn't consider it robbery to be with me again this evening. I want to shout out Aloma and Tangi, who couldn't be here this evening. My girl Tangi is sick, so we're lifting her up in prayer. But I have a special guest that I am honored to be able to sit down one-on-one. I'm just going to say he's the man. Okay, so I'm going to introduce to you my newfound friend and guest, Sheriff C.T. Woody, Sheriff of Richmond. Okay, and so thank you so much for being here this evening.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm honored to be here.
Absolutely. And so we're going to get to talk. We're going to talk to the sheriff again. You guys know the number. We're going to open up our phone lines around 9:15. So if you have a question or a comment, call in at 804-915-5202. We just ask that if you call in, just be respectful, and we appreciate that. So we want to talk to the sheriff. And so I guess before we jump into everything, tell us, who is C.T. Woody?
Well, C.T. Woody is an old man, been around for a while, born and raised in Hanover County. I've been in Richmond for approximately 38 years. I got involved in law enforcement since 1968. Retired in 2002, worked about 4 years at the Richmond Commonwealth Attorney's Office under David Hicks as the lead investigators and doing a lot of training there. And after finishing with that, the community called on me to run for sheriff in 2002. I ran and I won in 2005, correction. And this is my third term, and I'm looking forward for another term because I'm coming up again. But I love helping people. I love giving back. Where I come from, I was raised in a community where everybody raised you. But I'm just sick and tired of seeing our people locked up and thrown in jail when there are so many other things that we can do to keep them from coming there. I don't believe in that people should be put in jail for the pipeline from school to jails. I believe we should be proactive instead of being reactive. And I'm not bragging about all the great programs that we have at the Richmond City Justice Center, but we do have some outstanding programs that has national attention and international recognition, and we are proud of that. But my goal is to help the communities and our city, the city of Richmond, to have these programs for those that are addicted, and for those that are mentally ill, and those that need help. Have the programs to keep people from coming into jail instead of having the programs after they get in jail.
And I think that's a great lead-in to where I wanted to go, Sheriff, because you touched on some of the key elements that I wanted to talk about, that
Sure.
prison pipeline. But I want to start back because you started already showing us a compassionate side, and there's a lot of misconception coming from a long line of law enforcement that law enforcement officers don't care, that your role is, I mean, realistically, you wouldn't be the sheriff if people didn't commit crimes and go to jail. Okay, so
Yes.
we get that, and we do know that sometimes people fall through the cracks. Sometimes there are innocent people in jail. We get all of that. But one of the things that I like in reading your backstory is the concern for the inmates once they're there, that they don't just become numbers.
Well, you know, my thing is the residents, or inmates as some people call them. I like to call them residents because they live there. There's nothing wrong with the word inmate as well, but they are just as human as we are. I believe in giving second chances. I wouldn't be where I am today if someone hadn't given me a second or even a third chance, or if someone hadn't helped me in the community, hadn't raised me. You see, my philosophy is that we are locking up the wrong people. We are arresting people that are mentally ill, that are really sick. We are arresting people and locking them up and putting them in jail that are strung out and addicted to opiates and crack and cocaine. Being an addict or being addicted to drugs is not a crime. It's a sickness. It's an illness, and it should be treated as such. So in my jail, Richmond City Justice Center, over 70% of the people there are either mentally ill or they have some type of drug addiction. So I believe in treating the cause instead of putting a Band-Aid on the wound. Treat addictions, treat mental illness. And I've been saying it for years, and even though we are improving somewhat now, but anybody that have a mental condition, they should be in a mental health facility and not in a jail.
I agree, Sheriff. Hold on, we got a call. Go ahead, caller. Thank you for tuning in. You got a question or a comment?
I would just like to wish Sheriff Woody a great job in what he's doing, and I'm asking him to please keep up the good work. This is one of his best neighbors, Mrs. Sally Rollins. Take care. Have a good evening, Sheriff. Love you. Bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. And I think that was a great way to start off, because we know, and I'm a leader too, with leadership not only comes great responsibility, but always seems to come controversy.
Yes.
Okay. And so we know for every person out there that will have something kind to say about Sheriff Woody, we can find someone to have something negative to share about Sheriff Woody. And one of the things that we also find is that there are circumstances that arise that when you're a leader, the buck stops with you, even though it has nothing to do with you. And I want to go back, because you said one of the key things. I come from New York City, and we had huge mental facility, Creedmoor, downstate. And it blew me away when I came here that there wasn't a mental illness facility somewhere for people to go. And I know I'm going to be sitting down one-on-one in a couple of weeks with Chief Durham. I've had the pleasure of meeting with him before. Mental illness is huge. And so we have our sheriffs and our deputies in them trying to detain people that really don't even comprehend or not even mentally aware of the circumstances. So that puts a more danger on the other residents at your facility, as well as the staff that's on the facility. Yes. Do you see that with your upcoming election, and we're gonna let you know, Sheriff Woody is running for another term. The primaries are June 13th for everyone that lives in the city, and we'll keep mentioning that for those that we encourage anybody, whether you're in support of Sheriff Woody or not, this will be your time for your voice to be heard and vote. So Sheriff, in that much, we know that you guys built the new prison facility, residence hall, which I wasn't happy about. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm just like, why are we building a new one? But unfortunately, there is a need for it. Tell us about some of the programs that is offered to, because we always hear people talk about restoration of rights, but part of the restoration is restoring a whole person.
Yes.
What does that look like?
You know, we have the real program down there at the Richmond City Justice Center. Like I say, I've been very successful with it. It has gone national and internationally. We are doing some great things. We are, you know, it means, you know, realizing everyday lifestyle out there. And we treat the cause. And it's set up. It's not an easy program to go through. You know, hey, they start at 7 o'clock in the morning. They work 10, 12 hours. They have things, I mean, large pages of work to do that is well supervised and ran by our expert, Dr. Scarborough. And, you know, it's designed to get people to know themselves. It's a program that is designed to not to just complain, but find solutions. It trains you, it educates you, it lets you know how to deal with certain situations. It gives you parenting skills. It lets you know how important families are. It lets you know that, you know, just because you make a mistake, you shouldn't be looking back. Look ahead. I believe in redemption, and you can help yourself, and others can help you. But solutions is the key. These things are necessary. One of the best things that happened at the Richmond City Justice Center is that we have a faith-based organization that are strictly volunteers. Whatever your faith, what you believe in, or whether what you don't believe in, we have over 100 chaplains and people that are involved in different religions to come down there and serve our residents. And that is critical. All kinds of family and parenting skills. You know, we have them getting their GEDs. We even have some of the graduates from the REAL program that have actually gotten a scholarship from VCU, gone to VCU, graduated, and is now working on their masters. All of these things is very, very important. We have college courses, VCU, Virginia Union, Virginia State, the University of Richmond, bring their students down to Richmond City Justice Center, and they take college courses down there with the residents. And it's good for them because they come in there and they see that that's a place where you're not supposed to be and they learn a lot. But we have some very bright, intelligent, and skillful people that have made mistakes. They are just as smart, and most of them are smarter than I am, and some of the ones that are coming in there. So you give them a chance, to a second chance, because what we really want to do, and our goal is, to make those that want to be a better citizen instead of a better criminal.
So then what do we say to the ones who, they go through all of this program, and they keep returning back and forth again and again and again? What would be, where did they fall through the safety net?
Well, they fall through the safety net, and it is second chances and some third chances, but the majority of those that come in there and are involved in these programs, they get involved with their families. They realize that they can treat the cause, that they can solve problems, that they can get an education, that they can get a job because they are trained in all of that, and that how valuable they are to their community. Now, will some fall? Yes. But it's never too late. You have to continue trying. But we are helping those that want to be helped and preparing them to come back out into the community. We get them driver's license, we get them ID cards, we make sure they have somewhere to stay. We just recently have a house now that those that are getting out of the REAL program have somewhere to go and stay and to continue their training for 6 months and preparing them for jobs. All of this makes everyone a better person, and it makes them to know how valuable they are, to respect themselves, to love themselves, and to make sure that they can give back to the community. Now, those that are mentally ill, and everybody knows that most jails, not just mine, are the dumping ground for those that are mentally ill because they don't have anywhere else to put them. It's not fair to those that are mentally ill. It's a great cost to the taxpayers, and the people really do not get a chance to be really treated by the experts who can treat them. Well, they said, what do you have deaths in the jail? Well, they said, what are you getting sued? And that's a part of the responsibility. But my jail, Richmond City Justice Center, is the second largest jail in the state of Virginia. And the people that we treat and the people that is getting arrested are the homeless, those who are mentally ill, they are already sick, full-blown AIDS, diabetes, no insurance, they can't go to the hospital to get treated, they get arrested, they come down there. They say, oh, Woody, you got a brand new building there. You got air conditioning, you got heat, you got, hey, it's everything. It's one of the top jails or facilities in the United States. It's true. But the same ill, sick people are coming there that should not be in there, period. And I believe in smaller jails, bigger schools, and bigger mental health facilities.
So speaking in that, sir, do you guys go out to, because I know one of the great programs that you do have is the partnership that you have with Camp Diva and Girls with a Change, with the Date for Dad dance. And I think that that's phenomenal. Angela Patton and the marriage between the Sheriff's Department has been great for the inmates. But do you all do like outreach to the school systems to talk to the children about this is not the place where you want to end up?
Yes, We do that. That's very, very important. Partnerships is a must in all communities. I have a great working relationship with one of the greatest police chiefs that we ever had, Chief Durham.
I love Chief Durham.
Chief Durham
I love Chief Durham, yes.
He's fair. He shoots from the hip. He knows exactly what needs to be done. He has been through it, and he knows, and he has a great department behind him. But it takes more than Chief Durham. Right. It takes more than the Richmond Police Department. All of them do a great job. Law enforcement does. It takes more than the sheriff. What we really need, and things are improving. I'm not complaining. No law enforcement agency is any stronger than the community itself. The 4 or 5 most powerful words in community is unity. You and I. We all can make a difference. And you know, we can disagree, but we gotta come to solutions. One of the best things that have happened at the Richmond City Justice Center very recently here is that we got a $640,000 grant from our great governor that's going to be just for those who are mentally ill. And where it's going to help is that instead of being there 10, 15 days or 2 months before you get evaluated, you can get evaluated the same day, and you can be sent to where you are supposed to be to get treated. That's a great step forward. We are improving with our mental health, and we got a long ways to go. I still want to stay on because I want to do my part in giving back and letting them know that the mental health people are not supposed to be there. That those who have drug addictions, they should be in a treatment facility instead of being locked up to get put back out there and not prepared, and it's coming right back. It's not fair to the person themselves. It's not fair to the taxpayers at all. We need to wake up and let everybody come together and say, we are a team. Together, everybody achieves more. We need to put our monies and our funds where the causes really are. We need to stop complaining about our children and go back and start in the home with family issues. We need to find something for our children to do in a positive way when they get out of school, instead of going home and nobody's there or standing on the corner. You need to put the money where you are talking into these things. Programs, prevent. Answer prevention is worth a panel cure. It's a lot of money in corrections. Private organizations are making money.
Absolutely, and we talked about that. Again, this is the Sister Can We Talk show. This is your girl, Raw Silk, and I am sitting one-on-one with Sheriff C.T. Woody, and we are having interesting conversation about the man, the myths that you heard, as well as the Richmond City Justice Center. If you got a question or a comment, give us a call at 915-5202. So, Sheriff, one of the things that we talked about offline was one of the things that I've always wanted to know. As a sheriff, yes, we get it. You doing great things, okay, but you're a black man first.
Yes. How
does that conflict with your spirit, being a black man and seeing so many of your brothers coming through that system? It
gets sad sometimes, but I'm proud to be a black man, and I'll tell you why. Where I grew up, I couldn't go in the white store. Where I grew up, I couldn't go to the white school. Where I grew up, I didn't like the police. They called them the law at that particular time. I was afraid of them. I never dreamed of being a police officer, you know, but my training, my mother and my father was telling us how important education is, and one day things is going to change. I graduated from high school. I went to college. I got drafted into the war. I came out, and, you know, nobody would hire me. All I knew how to do was shoot and kill and fight because I was a ground pounder, 11B20. But the only somebody hired me was the police department. That's the way it was meant to be, I guess. I got there. I liked it. I knew how to deal with people. I knew how to win community trust. I knew that you got to get out and be on the ground with the people in the community that you work. People trusted me. I trusted them. I'm not bragging or boasting because I'm not a hero. I had a lot of good help. I had the community behind me, but I know what it takes. All of us working together and all of us going forward. I had to fight to get into Richmond City Justice Center. When I won in 2005, the incumbent where I beat would not even let me come into Richmond City Jail. I'm the only black man that I know of ever went to court and had to sue
to get in jail.
To go to jail. Most of us are suing to get out of jail.
Okay.
I had to fight to go to jail.
Okay.
And the judge finally ruled, and I finally got in there, and I realized that, wow, look at this.
Did you sit at your desk and go?
I said, I cannot believe it. I was surrounded by everybody that looked like me, between 18 and 35 years old. The young black males in there didn't have a high school education. They were reading on a sixth grade level, and the females that were in there were reading on a ninth grade level. And I would look at them and I would tell them, this is not where you are supposed to be. Some people out there want you to be here, but you got to find yourself, and we're going to do something about it. And we did. And we got, like I said, we got people graduating. We got people with so many GEDs. We got people that are doing this and doing that. They're doing things with their family. I was the first sheriff, and not bragging again, in the United States to have a father-daughter dance inside of a jail, because a little 13-year-old girl was crying to Angela Patton, and she is great and outstanding with what she's doing out there. But she cried when she came to the outside one, and they asked her, why was she crying? And she said, my father is in jail. And I don't know why she did it, but Angela had the little girl to write me a letter. She wrote me this letter and asked, could we have a father-daughter in the jail? And I did. And my law enforcement friends and some of the people, they said, man, you have lost it. You are going crazy. You're supposed to be hard on crime, and here you are having a father-daughter dance inside of a jail? And I said, yes, I'm going to do it. And no, I'm not going soft on crime. I'm just smart on crime. I know what it takes. We got people that were uneducated, full of poverty, no male in the house, mama have to work, raised by a female, the oldest daughter or the grandma or somebody, and they have never had any involvement with a man at all. So I want to be a role model. Not just to those inside of the system, but those outside also. Because I'm no angel. Most of the guys that I was running with, even family members, are dead and gone, locked up, on drugs, got beat to death inside a correction facility, committed suicide. I've seen it all. I've been around it all. That's why I love what I'm doing, giving back and helping others, because somebody helped me. And this is what it's all about. You can talk about the people that are in jail. You can talk about me getting sued and all of that. It comes along with the program. I'm there. I love what I'm doing. I love giving back. And we are making a difference down there for those that want to be helped. Now, soft on crime, those that continue to want to be a good criminal or a better criminal, because every time they get arrested, they get better, they get wiser, they're determined that they want to kill, that they want to rob, that they're going to gangbang, and all that kind of stuff. Yes, lock them up, throw away the key, because communities should be safe to walk your dog, to walk in the morning, and all of that. So we have to give back, and give back in the right cause. Make sacrifices. Somebody helped you, help someone else. But in jails, the mentally ill and those on drug addiction, should be treated and not locked up and just sit there until they hurt themselves or hurt somebody else. That's what we need to change.
Absolutely. So now, and I know I've even heard and I've even read that you were a good private investigator. You had some background in that. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, we know about controversy. You've hit on it twice about lawsuits, so we won't go into that because of legal matters. We know that there's been some deaths down in the jail. We know about that. I even remember way back before the new facility was built that the doors wasn't locking and it wasn't no air conditioning. So there's no need to beat that horse. We know about those things. Okay, through your course, is there anything that you can look and say, I wish I would have done this differently?
Yes, there is. There are always some things that you can learn and that you can grow and say, well, I did it this way. I wouldn't do that way. The old jail, Richmond City Jail, was built to hold 876 people in the early 60s. When I took over the jail in 2006, we were averaging 1,300 to 1,500 people in a facility that was run down, overheated, no heat in the winter, snakes, rats, you name it, it was there. It wasn't fit for the residents that was there, and it wasn't fit for the employees that was working there. Fast forward, we got the bricks, we got the building. I'm so proud that we have the first Justice Center ever in the city of Richmond. And I'm so proud